Have you ever noticed how two people can live through the same age, yet one seems to glow with quiet energy while the other slowly fades into fatigue? Sometimes the difference isn't luck, or gayness, or money. It's the small, consistent choices we make each day. I'm Dr. Michael Carter, and after decades of listening to my patients share their fears about aging, I've learned something both comforting and powerful. The road to a vibrant, independent life after 60 is built on a handful of simple habits. Last year, I met a woman named Vivian. She's 81 and moves with the grace and steadiness of someone 20 years younger. When I asked how she does it, she smiled and pulled out a worn piece of paper from her purse, a list titled My 8 Non-Negotiables. They weren't pills or expensive routines, just 8 small acts of care she practiced daily. And that list changed everything. Today, we'll explore those same 8 habits backed by science, yet gentle enough to begin right where you are. Habits that keep your body strong, your mind clear, and your heart open to connection. Before we begin, tell me where you're watching from, your city and country. I love seeing where our community is growing. And if you'd like more calm, honest conversations about aging, well, please subscribe to this channel. Now, take a deep breath. Maybe sip a glass of water. And let's begin with the first gentle habit, the one that keeps every cell in your body alive. Hydration. Habit 1, hydration and clarity. When we think about staying healthy after 60, most of us imagine exercise or medication. But often, the first thing your body truly needs is far simpler: water. As we grow older, the natural signal that tells us we're thirsty becomes weaker. You can be dehydrated and not feel it at all. This silent dehydration quietly clouds the mind, stiffens the body, and confuses the heart. Many people mistake it for just aging, when in truth, their bodies are simply asking for water. Frank, 73, came to me complaining of dizziness and afternoon confusion. He had gone through several medication adjustments, yet nothing changed. Then we discovered the real issue: he was drinking less than 3 glasses of water a day. Within 2 weeks of hydrating properly, the fog lifted, his steps steadied, his energy returned. Every cell in your body depends on water. Your brain needs it to think clearly. Your heart needs it to pump steadily. Your kidneys need it to clean your blood. Without enough water, everything slows down. Here's a simple way to stay balanced. Keep one 20-ounce bottle nearby. Finish one bottle before lunch and one before dinner. That's 40 ounces a day, a healthy baseline for most older adults. Set reminders every 2 hours if you need to. Add a slice of lemon if plain water feels dull. But skip the sugar or artificial sweeteners. If you're watching this right now, pause for a moment and take a sip. Let it remind your body that it is cared for. Because sometimes, the smallest act, lifting a glass of water, is the first step to feeling alive again. Now that your body is gently waking up, let's talk about another form of nourishment, the kind that comes from light itself. Habit 2, morning sunlight. There's a kind of medicine that doesn't come in a bottle. It shines quietly through your window every morning, waiting for you to step outside and receive it. Morning sunlight, just 10 minutes of it, can change the rhythm of your entire body. Yet, many older adults spend the first half of their day indoors, under soft lamps that never truly wake the body up. Linda, 68, had struggled with restless nights for years. She tried melatonin, warm milk, and even prescription sleep aids. But nothing worked until her sleep specialist asked a simple question: when was the last time you saw the morning sun? It turned out Linda rarely stepped outside before noon. When she began taking a 10-minute walk outside each morning, her sleep transformed. Within a week, She was falling asleep more easily and waking up rested for the first time in years. Here's why it works. Your body runs on an internal clock, a delicate rhythm that controls sleep, mood, and energy. And that clock depends on light. When you step into natural daylight within the first hour of waking, your brain resets itself. It tells every cell, it's time to wake up, to move, to heal. You don't need to stare into the sun, just be outside. Sit on your porch with your morning coffee. Walk to your mailbox. Open your front door and breathe in the day. If it's cloudy, it still works. Natural daylight is hundreds of times brighter than indoor light. Skip the sunglasses for those first 10 minutes. Let the light reach your eyes. It's nature's way of saying, you're still part of this world, still connected. Tomorrow morning, step outside before breakfast. Feel the air, the warmth, the beginning of the day. Because the morning light doesn't just brighten the sky, it brightens your spirit. Now that your body is aligned with light, let's explore something just as vital: the connection between your heart and the people around you. Habit 3. Staying socially connected. Loneliness is one of the quietest health risks of aging and one of the most dangerous. It doesn't show up on a medical scan, yet it leaves deep marks on the body and mind. Research from Johns Hopkins University has revealed something astonishing. Chronic loneliness increases mortality risk as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That isn't poetic exaggeration. It's biology. When you spend too many days without real connection, your stress hormones rise. Inflammation lingers in your body. Your heart and immune system begin to struggle. I once met Clarence, 77, a retired engineer who had stopped going to his weekly coffee group after his wife passed away. He told himself he preferred the quiet, but in truth, he was shrinking inside it. His daughter finally signed him up for a community card game. He resisted at first, but within a few weeks, something changed. His laughter returned. His shoulders relaxed. He told me later, "I didn't realize how much I'd missed simply being seen." Social connection isn't just emotional comfort, it's neurological exercise. Every time you talk with someone, your brain lights up in several areas at once: memory, emotion, language, empathy. This activity builds what scientists call cognitive reserve, the brain's way of staying strong against decline. Even one meaningful conversation can lower cortisol levels for hours and boost your immune function for days. Your body is designed for connection. It performs better when it feels safe and included. Here's a gentle practice schedule: 3 social interactions every week and treat them like medical appointments that cannot be skipped. It could be lunch with a neighbor, a phone call with a friend, a video chat with your grandchildren, or attending a local class. It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be real. And if you don't have someone to reach out to right now, start small. Visit your community center or library. Say hello to someone there. That single word hello can be the first thread of belonging. Your heart isn't meant to live in silence. Connection keeps it beating steady, keeps your mind sharp, keeps your life meaningful. So, who could you call this week? Take out your phone. Make that one call. And let your voice remind someone and yourself that you're still wonderfully here. Habit 4. Balance practice. Falls are not a natural part of aging. They are a signal that your body is asking for attention. And the good news is, balance can be rebuilt at any age. At the Mayo Clinic, researchers found that practicing simple balance exercises for just 3 weeks can reduce fall risk by nearly 50%. That's not theory, that's measurable. Life-changing progress. Your balance depends on 3 systems working together: the inner ear, your vision, and the small sensors in your muscles and joints that tell your brain where your body is in space. As we age, Each of these systems slows down a little, but they also respond beautifully to practice, much like a musical instrument that simply needs tuning. Phyllis, 74, discovered this after nearly falling in her kitchen. It scared her so much that she stopped walking outside for a while. When she finally came to see me, I suggested a short morning routine, just 3 minutes. I told her, do it while you brush your teeth. She stood on one foot, holding the counter for support, for 20 seconds. Then she switched sides. After breakfast, she walked heel to toe across her kitchen, pretending she was balancing on a tightrope. And before lunch, she practiced sitting down and standing up from a chair 5 times without using her hands. 3 minutes a day, that's all it took. 3 months later, Phyllis slipped on an icy sidewalk, but this time, her body reacted fast enough to catch itself. She smiled when she told me, I didn't fall. My legs knew what to do. Balance training isn't about perfect posture or athletic ability. It's about confidence, the quiet assurance that your body can support you. Every time you practice, your brain strengthens the pathways that control movement and stability. Here's your invitation tonight. When you brush your teeth, lift one foot for a few seconds. Feel your weight shift. Feel the small muscles in your feet and legs awaken. That's your body, remembering balance, remembering trust. You don't need to fear every step. You just need to keep moving with awareness and kindness. And once your footing feels steady, we'll move to the next habit, the one that nourishes your strength from within food, and the quiet power of protein. Habit 5. Protein at every meal. When most people think about aging, they picture wrinkles or gray hair, but inside the body, something far more important is changing muscle. After 60, we naturally lose muscle mass every year unless we feed it what it needs most: protein. Muscle isn't just strength, it's your foundation. It keeps you steady when you walk, powers your heart as it beats, and supports your immune system when you're sick. Without enough muscle, everything becomes harder: standing, lifting, climbing stairs, even smiling with ease. Vernon, 80 years old, told me he had just gotten weaker with time. But when we looked closer, it wasn't age stealing his strength. It was his diet. He often skipped breakfast, ate toast for lunch, and had soup for dinner. His body was running out of fuel. We started small: 2 eggs or Greek yogurt in the morning, chicken or salmon for lunch, beans or lean meat at dinner. Within 6 weeks, he could lift grocery bags again without strain. His face brightened. He said he felt alive in his own skin. Science backs this up. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that adults over 60 need 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to maintain muscle mass. That's more than most younger people need, and it must be spread throughout the day because our bodies can't store protein for later use. Here's a simple rhythm to follow. Breakfast: 2 or 3 eggs, Greek yogurt with nuts, or cottage cheese with fruit. Lunch: a chicken breast, salmon fillet, or turkey sandwich with extra meat. Dinner: lean beef, fish, or a hearty portion of beans and lentils. Snacks: cheese, yogurt, or a small protein shake if you're short on appetite. It's not about dieting. It's about rebuilding what time quietly erodes. Each bite of protein sends a message to your muscles. You still matter. You're still needed. Check your plate tonight. Is there enough strength on it? If not, add a handful of protein tomorrow, because every spoonful is a step toward independence, steadiness, and life lived fully on your own terms. Now that your body is nourished, let's learn how to steady your mind and soothe your heart through something as simple and powerful as your breath. Habit 6. Deep breathing. Most of us breathe without ever thinking about it. But how we breathe can shape everything: our blood pressure, our sleep, even the speed at which our cells age. After 60, stress tends to linger longer in the body. The mind worries, the muscles tighten, and our breathing grows shallow. Over time, this quiet tension keeps the nervous system stuck in a constant state of alert, a soft but steady panic that never turns off. That's why the habit of deep breathing isn't just about calm, it's about repair. When you slow your breath, you signal your body that it's safe again. The heart rate eases, blood pressure lowers, pain perception decreases, and your body begins to heal itself from the inside out. Beatrice, 71, used to visit me with headaches and borderline high blood pressure. She always looked tired even when she slept well. I taught her a simple routine: sit comfortably. Breathe in through the nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Then exhale slowly through the mouth for 6. The longer exhale tells the body to relax. She practiced for 5 minutes each afternoon. Within a month, her blood pressure dropped 12 points, and her doctor reduced her medication. But more importantly, she smiled differently, like her body had finally exhaled months of worry. You can try it right now. Sit up straight. Inhale gently through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. Then exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your shoulders fall. Feel your heartbeat steady. That's your parasympathetic nervous system turning on your body's natural healing mode. If you do this for 5 minutes a day, you'll notice your sleep improving, your mood softening, and your mind becoming quieter. Shallow breathing keeps you living in reaction. Deep breathing brings you back to presence. It's the simplest, most portable form of peace. So tomorrow, before you check your phone or turn on the news, take 5 minutes to breathe. The world can wait, your health cannot. And when your breath finds its rhythm, your body will soon follow. Which brings us to the next gentle anchor of health: sleep, the night's way of restoring everything you've worked for. A habit 7. Consistent sleep. Sleep is the quiet architect of every healthy day. It repairs, restores, and resets every cell, every memory, every emotion. But after 60, many people begin to treat sleep like a luxury, something to chase rather than protect. Your body doesn't know weekends, alarms, or television schedules. It only understands rhythm. When you sleep and wake at the same time every day, and your body learns when to release healing hormones, repair tissues, and clean the brain of toxins. This nightly cleansing is what keeps your mind sharp and your body resilient. Lorraine, 69, once told me she was tired of being tired. She went to bed late some nights, early on others, and woke up at different hours depending on the day. Despite getting 8 hours of total sleep, she felt foggy and drained. After a simple adjustment, going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, her energy began to return. "It's like my body finally trusts me again," she said. Science supports her story. Studies from Johns Hopkins Sleep Center show that consistent sleep patterns improve deep sleep quality, strengthen the immune system, and reduce dementia risk. Deep sleep is when your brain clears out metabolic waste, a process that slows dramatically with irregular schedules. Here's what to do. Choose a bedtime and wake-up time that allow for 7 to 8 hours of rest, and keep them within a 30-minute window every day. Even on weekends, dim your lights an hour before bed, turn off screens half an hour before sleep, and keep your bedroom cool between 65 and 68 degrees. Try reading or gentle stretching instead of scrolling. When you honor this rhythm, you're not just resting, You're teaching your body safety and stability. Over time, your mood steadies, your mind clears, and your mornings start without resistance. Tonight, instead of pushing through another hour of television, ask yourself, what if sleep is my medicine? Let your body answer by resting. And as you find your rhythm in the dark, remember, consistency is the quiet secret to every kind of healing. Next, we'll bring all these gentle habits together, and I'll share how they weave into one deeper message about self-care, dignity, and the art of aging well. Habit with consistency, the quiet secret. When people ask me what the most important habit of all is, my answer often surprises them. It's not exercise, or diet, or sleep. It's consistency, because without it, no other habit can take root. Consistency is what turns a good intention into transformation. It's the quiet bridge between knowing what to do and actually living it. Vivian, the 81-year-old woman who inspired this list, once told me, "I don't do all 8 perfectly every day. I just don't stop starting." That's the secret. You don't need to be flawless, you just need to return to the path. Again and again. Science agrees. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that consistent routines lower stress hormones, improve memory, and strengthen the body's internal clock. Repetition creates stability inside the brain, freeing energy for creativity and calm. It's why disciplined people often look peaceful. Their bodies aren't fighting chaos every day. Think of consistency as kindness made visible. When you hydrate, move, breathe, and rest on time, you are whispering to your body, "You can trust me." Over time, that trust rebuilds everything. Immunity, clarity, and hope. The key is to start small. Choose 2 habits from what we've explored, maybe drinking more water and stepping into the morning light. Keep them for 2 weeks. Once they feel natural, add 2 more. In 2 months, you'll be living with all 8. Not because you forced yourself, but because your life began to shift around them. You don't need perfect discipline. You need gentle repetition. Miss a day, begin again. Feel tired, simplify. What matters is returning, not performing. Each small act compounds quietly, like layers of paint forming a masterpiece. One day, you'll wake up realizing your health didn't change overnight. It blooms slowly under the care of your own consistency. So, before you move on with your day, ask yourself, which 2 habits will I start today? Then write them down. Somewhere you'll see every morning. Because aging well isn't about doing everything at once. It's about doing one small, loving thing every single day. Conclusion: living with dignity and connection. When I look back on my years as a physician, I've learned that health after 60 is less about fighting time and more about befriending it. The truth is, aging is not a disease. It's a long conversation between your body and your spirit. How you listen determines how gracefully you live. You've just discovered 8 habits that cost almost nothing and yet can return so much hydration. Sunlight, connection, balance, nourishment, breath, rest, and consistency. Each one is a small act of self-respect. Together, they form a quiet promise that your later years can be strong, joyful, and deeply human. Maybe you can't control every diagnosis or every ache, but you can choose to drink that glass of water, to step into the morning light, to call a friend, to breathe deeply before sleep. These are not small things. They are declarations of life, reminders that your body is still your home, still worthy of care. If you begin today, Avon Grantley, you'll start to feel a shift not just in your body, but in your heart. A sense that you are no longer waiting for health to find you, because you are walking toward it yourself. Tell me in the comments, which habit will you begin this week? I read every message, and I love hearing where you are tuning in from. If this conversation touched you, share it with someone who might need a reminder that it's never too late to begin again. And if you'd like more calm, science-based guidance for aging with dignity and peace, subscribe to our channel, Life in Words. Together, we are not just growing older, we are growing gentler, wiser, and more alive.